this third and final video, I'm going to show you how to include a second source and then go over the instructions with you. So here I have a second source, Egger and Eggerova, e-learning trends in Central Europe, and this is the passage I'm going to be incorporating. So here's my first paragraph again. E. Stark, A. Lassiter, and A. Quemper, all professors at Minnesota State University, explained that although the argument exists that online education is not as effective as face-to-face learning, research indicates that this is not so. Cited page 270. One item of research they have found is that student participation increases in online classes. I cited from page 271, finishing the sentence with my own idea, probably because students have a degree of anonymity in an online environment. Okay, I'll fix my typo there. Now I'm in a new paragraph. I have new ideas, so I'm moving on to a new paragraph, and I'm going to be incorporating information from my second source. Although there is a great deal of research conducted on online education in the United States, not as much has been conducted about e-learning trends in other countries. L. Egger and D. Eggerova's study of online learning in the Czech Republic examines the resources available to both the private sector and the education sector in that country. I used that information from page 385 of that source. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit of why I think this is a good source. The authors, who both teach at different universities in the Czech Republic, have published widely on the subject of e-learning and provide a solid evidence of the growth of online courses that have been seen in the United States. So I'm telling you that they both published, they're university professors, so this isn't just Jane Doe publishing something out there on the internet. These people have a level of expertise that I can rely on. And this is my information, right? Now I want to go back and use the Stark, Lassiter, and Quemper material again, so I have to start with their names or the name of their article, something that lets you know I've moved from both the Egger and Eggerova article. From my own comments, I'm going back to Lassiter. So I start here. Stark, Lassiter, and Quempo suggest that online learning is becoming the leader in teaching methods as we move towards the future. That came again on page 271 of their study. My final comment. This can be seen with the explosion of online courses at CPCC. Students can complete their entire degree and some programs entirely online. So it's not just cobbling together what I'm reading, I'm adding my own material in as well. What points am I trying to make? So the real goal is to have your ideas supported by other authors, not all these other authors strung together. And that's a real difficult thing for a lot of college writers to do, and it takes a lot of practice. So to begin our practice, you're going to be using the article from this week, the Fox article. This is an educational article, journal from an educational journal that's been annotated, and your first task, of course, is to read through the annotations to see how an education article is put together. So we're going to use that article, and it's in the Week 9 folder. Find something in there, two pieces of information from two different pages of the journal. And I mean two different pages of the journal, not just two consecutive pages where something's at the bottom of one and finishes up on the top of the other. I want you to find two different areas, two different things that the article is saying. The other problem that professors cite as finding over and over again in student writing is that no matter the length of the article, students tend to only choose material from the first page of that article. When you do that, when you only read the first page of an article in order to fulfill some sort of requirement that you use X number of sources, what happens when you only use the first page of a source is that you're not getting any details. You're not getting any context, you're not understanding that article, and you're demonstrating your lack of understanding by only pulling something from the very beginning of the article. So I'm hoping that you will go through the article and find something that interests you that you can write on, but not necessarily from that first page, okay? So using a paragraph from the Fox or paragraphs, incorporate two pieces of information from two different pages of the journal, okay? Comment on the source material, making your own point about literacy. Teachers working in the community, rural access to education, whatever subject that you want to talk about, but you're going to use that source material. And it's very easy read, so even from just going through the headings, you can figure out what Fox is talking about. You cite your own sources. So in other words, what you're going to do is the same thing I did here, with two sources and incorporating your own ideas, and this should be done in APA format. Kind of use this highlighted area here I have as your sample for in terms of length. This is kind of the length I'm looking for. Use APA formatting, and you should provide that Fox article citation as well. All right. And I think that's all for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is one of those things that's probably a little easier to do in a face-to-face class, so if I haven't covered something as thoroughly as you would like, please let me know, and I'm happy to go in and do that. And I do have a couple of typos in here, so make sure you read over the written instructions as well before you get started. And that's